Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 16 of One Man's Opinion. Today I am reviewing Music Theater of Connecticut's production of the Andrew Lloyd Webber musical Sunset Boulevard, with book and lyrics by Don Black and Christopher Hampton. It is directed by Kevin Connors and is running through October 2nd at their theater at 509 Westport Avenue in Norwalk, Connecticut. Based on the Billy Wilder film of the same name, Sunset Boulevard is the story of Joe Gillis, played by Trevor Martin, a Hollywood screenwriter in late 1949 who, while hiding from repo men looking to collect his car, stumbles upon the dilapidated home of fated silent film star Norma Desmond, played by Elizabeth Ward Land. When Norma discovers who he is, she coerces him to stay at her home and assist her with her self-written screenplay of Salome. As Joe accepts becoming Norma's kept man, he discovers that Norma, with her odd butler Max von Mayerling, played by James Patterson, have some serious psychoses, which ultimately becomes Joe's undoing as he tries to escape the clutches of Norma. None of this is a spoiler, as it is established at the top of the show that Joe is dead. Wilder's film is one of my favorites, a top 10 film for me, and the musical is my favorite Andrew Lloyd Webber musical. This was solidified when I saw the 2017 revival on Broadway with Glenn Close. I hadn't moved to New York City yet when the original production ran, and Glenn Close was immaculate. Considering that Music Theater of Connecticut has a history of successfully pulling off musicals that they have no business pulling off with their tiny house, MTC's production of Sunset Boulevard is disappointing. Their productions of ragtime, cabaret, and falsettos are all award-winning and worthy of such praise, but with Sunset Boulevard, they are finally overreaching. Much of it has to do with the design. There is no sense of faded glory here while seeing Norma Desmond's home. There's no sense of scale. Instead, there is a makeshift set of stairs made with metal piping for handrails. But you ask, what about the revival? That production was pared down. Yes, it was, but it didn't lose its sense of scale. It felt epic, regardless that the mammoth house interior wasn't there. This we do not have here at MTC. The performances weren't as bad as the design, but there were some missed opportunities regarding some of the characterizations. Martin gives Joe a bit of sex appeal, which was an interesting choice, but lacks the necessary cynicism of a failed writer whose only recourse is to take shelter with a middle-aged, washed-up actress. Elizabeth Ward Land gets the overacting theatrics right of Norma Desmond, a woman who has trapped herself in the acting world of the silent era. Her emotions are exaggerated and dramatic, which is great, but what is missing is Norma's psychosis. I never got the sense that she was a delusional woman living in an illusion of a world that no longer exists. In short, there needed to be a bit more of the crazy in her actions. Sandra Morante does a solid job as Betty Schaefer, the optimistic script girl who hopes to graduate to screenwriter, who offers Joe a potential escape from Norma's clutches. The best performance is Patterson's stoic and austere turn as Max. He gives a rich layers to his performance, betraying his stern demeanor with a secret passionate love that only the audience gets to see. It's almost horrific and a pleasure to watch. I did like many of Diane Vanderkroef's costumes, especially Norma's. Actually, the best number of the show is Joe's makeover scene, The Ladies Paying, which the ensemble really shines. Sunset Boulevard is a great musical, but Music Theater of Connecticut misses the mark here. It's a bit disappointing considering the general run of successes that they have had. But I am only one man's opinion, so leave yours in the comments below. If you're interested in seeing Sunset Boulevard, I'll leave a link in the description. You can support my channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and hit the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. Currently, my next scheduled review is the national tour of Mean Girls. So thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.